Moving on. Now, history has been made in Colombo as Indian blind women have won the first ever Blind T20 World Cup, beating Nepal by 7 wickets at the Saravanamuttu International Cricket Stadium, also known as the Sri Lankan Oval. Indian women have etched their names into annals of history. Basanti, Hansda, a B2 player of the team, scored a whopping 45 runs and became the player of the match. Remember, previously, Indian women decimated Australia in the semi-finals. And I have my guest, Sunil Yash Kalra, joining me on the broadcast. Now, Sunil, this is such a big feat. I'm sure it makes every Indian proud. What do you have to say?
Well, absolutely. At the inaugural edition of this tournament at the World Cup, no matter whatever the category is, India is just emerging as the winner. I mean, look at the under-19s, the under-23, the ODIs, the WTC. India is reaching out somewhere, of course, not in the WTC, the test match arena, but 20 overs, limited overs, the league championship, the under-19. I mean, I think it calls for an overall celebration because India is slowly becoming the superpower of cricket. All they have to do is just one box that needs to be ticked, which is the test match. And what we see on television right now, it's not a great sight to watch India's test match record. But on the other hand, India is doing superb, especially in the women's arena. In the under-19, when we covered at the Malaysia the finals where they defeated the South Africans. Here today, they've defeated Nepal, which is a big thing. I was there at Colombo and watching the team practice. It gives you a feeling that, I mean, gone are the days when they were called the amateurs. Now they walk in, even if the elite panel or with players with disability, they walk in with so much of confidence, so much of, they use that kind of super sports power that is so much required in this. Yes.
Now, Sunil, when it comes to the cricket for the blind, this is, of course, a completely different ballgame when it comes to regular cricket. Could you explain to our viewers how this really works in terms of the strategy of the game?
Well, absolutely. It is not like you bowl the overarm throughout in a full throttle pace. The ball has some instruments in it, so you can hear it. The players walk in with a kind of visibility and visibility issues. So they've got to wear those mandatory glasses. They've got to declare what their eyesight looks like. Of course, they're not completely blind at some stage. They develop into this blindness. So special rules are formed. The boundaries are brought in. The cricket equipment is customized to their liking. But all I can say is that the excitement and the winning and the way that they celebrate is absolutely no different from the men's senior team or the women's senior team. Of course, the skill level may vary. The pace of the game may slow because you can't hit out of the park. So the scoring is very minimal. As you see, 115 runs is not a big target, but Indian girls are absolutely strong. I suspect that they would have played competitive cricket at the earlier stages of their career, at some stage in school, because they walk in with so much of power and with so much of power hitting and good technique. Yes.
Now, Sunil, the game, it had a lot of build-up. It had a lot of rivalry. And the stakes, of course, made this fixture a global spectacle, really. So what would you like to say on that aspect of the game?
All I want to say is that this is a very big game because cricket is now growing in all forms leagues. If you've seen the Legends League, also it is growing, the under-19, under-16. We are here at, I mean, when you look at the UAE, the Gulf Cup, which is going at a larger pace, which attracts 100 school students from all across the world. They come in and play that kind of thing. So Indian students, Indian players, people with genetically some kind of lineage to India, I think. Yes.
True friendship, true camaraderie. I remember what you said.
Go across to my colleague Brian Thomas, who's joining me with more details. Brian, what more can you tell us?
Clearly, NewsX is on the ground. We are in the Maiden stadium, a very iconic stadium. And just a while back, India team secured victory, won the final became undefeated team. Not even one single match that they've lost. They had the final with Nepal. They won the semi-final against Australia, and then they won the toss. They chose to chase, and it was a target of 150. And the India team scored exceptionally well. We became the first channel to interview the Indian players just after the victory. We just showing the visuals. You can see the presentation ceremony going on as we are on live speaking. On this end are the Indian team players that are sitting. You can see the visuals. And ahead is the Sri Lankan Prime Minister who will come. Meenakshi Leakhi is also there, and here also at the very humble stadium. What you see is the presentation ceremony going on, and India has become undefeated. And yes,
Really appreciate and
clinched. They won against Nepal. They defeated Australia in the semi-final. Now in the finals, just 10 minutes back, it created this scripted history. Some of the first ever women's team this World Cup. The first blind women's team that was made, and India has won the World Cup.
All right, Brian, now stay on with me. Now I have my guest Sunil Yash Kalra with me, of course. Now, Sunil, Sunil, can you hear me?
Yes, go on, go on.
Sunil, you know, I really want to talk to you about India's exceptional fielding. There were quick pickups, direct hits, and unwavering composure, of course. So talk to us a little bit about the fielding.
Well, absolutely. When you look at their matches and when you look at their practice drills, of course, I was there at the beginning of the tournament, just watching them in the Aussies play. I think the fielding drills, they don't look as if they've come from a able board, elite athletes kind of a thing where they have visibility issues. But their warm-up routines is very interesting. It reminds us of the under-19 women's camp that we see of the Indian cricket team. So the girls, yeah, of course, are very interested in this particular kind of a thing. They prepare for the games like professionals, and I think we are all overwhelmed with this.
All right, Sunil, thanks for joining me on the broadcast. And now